Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to another exciting episode of my YouTube channel and podcast. It is October 1st. It is spooky season. And what a great way to start off the month of October. I cannot think of a better way. And now into the spooky season with the newest installment of VHS Halloween because Halloween is approaching fast. And therefore, this is the perfect time. From what I understand, is this is now the darkest and funniest entry yet in the franchise and remains to be a touchstone of the found footage subgenre. So today I'm speaking to Lawson Greyson, who stars in the film, and let's hear what she has to say about this film. And I have 1,000 questions, but there's only a certain amount of time. So please give a very warm welcome to the wonderful, the beautiful, and the talented Lawson Greyson. Thank you
Oh,
so much for joining me. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for such a gracious introduction. I feel like I'm on cloud nine.
Well, the honor and pleasure is all mine. Um, as I stated, I before the interview, I do love the VHS franchise, and I am wondering what the hell it took so long to do a Halloween version of this film because it's about fucking time. Just saying,
Right?
it happened. So, if you could please enlighten us, especially me, I'm being selfish today. I don't care. Of who you are and how you got into acting. Who are you, and how did you get bit by the bug?
Yeah, well, I'm Lawson Grayson, as you said. I think I was definitely the child that was the performer kid, unfortunately, much to my parents' and family's chagrin. I was the one that was like, family's coming over, watch my dance. Mom, Dad, watch my play that I made up. And so I had very wonderful parents that placated into that and were like, "Yes, honey, you're great." And so I think I just grew up loving performing, and it was always in the back of my mind that I wanted to act, but I kind of grew up in a smaller area of Arizona. I grew up in Flagstaff. It's a beautiful mountain town, but not a lot of opportunity when it comes to like film acting and television. So I remember doing one play when I think I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and I played a moth and I had one line, and I remember getting off stage and being like, Mom, that sucked. I was not a fan of theater. I was like, I literally just stood there the whole time and was bored. So I think that was my mom's like, okay, maybe not right now. This isn't the thing. I tried to do TV and television, but like I said, coming from the smaller town, it just wasn't really happening. So then I did sports. I was a gymnast for 8 years. Then I did dance competitively for like another six or something around there. And so I was always performing. I always loved it. And then when I was about 17, I had just graduated high school. And then I also quit dance due to like just the beatings on your body. I started getting a lot of injuries and things. So I was like, all of a sudden I had all this time that I did not know what to do with. And so I had a good friend of mine who was in an acting class. And I was like, oh, that's always been really interesting. That sounds like a lot of fun. So I took it. It was an on-camera acting class in Phoenix, Arizona, which is where I was living at the time, and I was hooked. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. It was just so fun. And I had a really great teacher who gave me some good advice and told me to just get in short films, and I did, and I did my first one, and I think I just was like, I can't do anything else. Like, this is it. This is what I have to do.
Well, I am super glad you found your calling because I tried acting one time and I am horrible at it. Just saying. So
To be fair, I was really bad in the beginning too. Everyone's pretty well, there's some people with some innate ability, but it's taken many a years to be like, oh, that didn't suck. That was actually was actually pretty good.
I was in one school play and it was a Halloween play. And I just stood there and waved my arms like Frankenstein. That's all I had to do. And like, you know what? This is not for me.
You're like, ah, this isn't it. This isn't the thing.
But fortunately, I was offered a short role in a film coming up soon. It was called the movie's called The Farmhouse Murders, and I play a podcaster, which comes natural to me. So it was great. So it was
Amazing.
perfect. So yeah,
It's amazing. It's meant to be.
but but it's not sad. It's just I just wish it was a lot longer. It was like a 30-second role. That was it. I had to say like 4 lines. That was my entire thing. So, but anyway, the director's like, hey, I'm looking for a podcaster. Could you be Phil? I'm like, of course I could be Phil. What are my lines? He sent me my lines in email. I memorized them. Did it about 30 times, but I got it right finally. So it was. It's just it was done with, but the movie is due to be released next year. So
Amazing
I don't.
though. Your
Yeah. So
acting
yeah.
debut on screen at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah. And he said Phil is gonna be a fan favorite. I'm like, how's it gonna be the 30-second role? I don't know, but whatever.
You never know. Sometimes those are the ones.
So so if you could please enlighten us, especially for me, I'm being selfish again. I don't care. Um, if you can tell us about your character and what inspired you to audition for the role.
Yeah, so I play Lauren. She, I would say, is more of like the straight man in the segment. She's a little bit of a goody goody. She doesn't want to get in trouble. She's like trying to do right by life, but then you kind of find out as the story unfolds, she has this fiance that she's not really sure about, and she's kind of living this life that she's just all around a little unsure, hesitant, just is like trying to figure things out as someone, as most people are in their early 20s. And she's out trick or treating with her friends. They were at a lame party that didn't have any candy, so they decide we're going to go trick or treating. And so they go to the houses, and everyone's kind of like, aren't you guys a little old to be doing this? And they stumble across a house with a candy bowl that says, just take one. And unfortunately, multiples are taken of the candy, and chaos ensues from there.
That's what I've read online. So,
Yes, yeah,
exactly what I
it's
read online.
pretty wild.
So yeah, just a record for anybody listening, you're never too old to go trick or treating. I'm 46 years old, and I still go trick or treating. I don't care because candy
No,
is
I
candy.
think
So,
you absolutely should be allowed to go trick or treating. It's like, it's good fun. Everyone should be allowed.
so, after reading the script and knowing what you were getting into, how did you prepare yourself for that type of headspace for that role?
I've done a decent amount of horror, but with VHS with the found footage element, I was definitely curious on how all of that was going to go. I think the more mental preparation was just kind of figuring out how someone would respond in these crazy circumstances, obviously, because I don't know about you, I've never been sucked into a candy bowl before in my life. So it really was just like a lot of like childlike imagination going into it, which was really fun. And then yeah, I think beforehand it was just kind of figuring out how Lauren felt in the circumstances, obviously, and then the relationship with her fiance. And then from there it was just kind of then living in that world when we were filming, which was so fun.
Yeah, it's amazing how how I remember the very first VHS movie that came out a long time ago,
Mhm.
and I'm amazed how much it's progressed over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like VHS 85, one of my favorite ones in the entire franchise,
Yeah.
and the most recent one, VHS Beyond, phenomenal. I mean,
That one was
that one
crazy.
that one actually scared the shit out of me. Not gonna lie. I mean, I am never going to an empty house with a big fucking alien bird with babies again. If I no no,
No.
if I ever see that in
Just
a
a
house,
bad
I'm running.
decision, I
So
think.
it's just crazy how, like I said, it's progressed, and I love it, and I cannot wait to see this version of the film on October 3rd. So, according to the critics, this installment is one of the best entries in the annual anthology series because of the consistency and the endless barrage of practical gross out special effects. So, what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that part?
It was so incredibly fun because there's so many times where you like read things in scripts and it's like, oh, that's all going to be special effects. Like that's going to be something they do on the editing side of things. So when we got to the set, none of us really knew how much was going to be like what they call a practical effect, which I'm sure for the audience to know means like it's actively happening on set. You're there and experiencing it rather than them doing it with like CGI in post. And almost pretty much I would say like 99% of all of our gore and craziness going on and effects in Fun Size especially is all practical. So it was all happening on the day. So that was so incredibly cool to be a part of. I mean, I remember there was like one point where it was so cool. Like so I'm not to spoil too much, but one of our characters is not doing so well And so there's a lot of blood being splurted, it's like squirted, and they were really trying not to get it on me because they were like, listen, we don't have as many wardrobes for her. Like we only have one other. We're really trying not to get Lawson covered in blood. And I remember we were doing it, and it already feels so real being in that environment because with the VHS, the way they film it, it's all found footage. So there's not like cameras in your faces that aren't like a part of the scenes. There's not like weird lights or like the sound guy right over you. So there's like nothing really suspending your belief. Like you really feel like you're in this scenario. And even our VFX people were like behind a layer of like sheet. So all of a sudden blood is squirting and spurting everywhere. And it kind of got me in the face. And it felt so real that I was like, oh, I was like, oh God. And then, they call cut. And I'm like, oh, that's right. It's fake. It's not real, but it was definitely jarring and just made everything feel so real and was such a fun experience. Yeah, the I like picked all of our visual effects people's brains because I was like, how does this work? How does it come out of this thing? And like the way they like maneuvered everything and made everything work was so cool. There was one point where a leaf blower filled with candy was involved, and I think when you watch it, you'll know what scene I'm talking about. But like that was so wild to see where I was like, that I would have never thought of doing that. That's crazy.
That sounds great. The I love your passion. I love it. I love how you described everything. It just makes them more exciting and makes you look more looking forward to see the movie
Yeah.
because just hearing you get excited about that part, it makes me want to like, okay, I need to see this movie now. I can't wait any longer. I mean, I need to like ask for someone like a private screener or something because I'm not gonna be able to see it in the theater. I'm not gonna be able to help myself. I'll probably scream in the joy or something. I don't know, but it's gonna happen. Um, so let's do a deep dive real quick.
Yeah.
The segment you're in called Fun Size.
Mhm.
I heard this will have full size candy bars. Thank God, like king size candy bars,
Yes.
because
King size candy bars.
that's the best ones you can get, and it's totally 100% unhinged. Um, and one of the segments you're in, like you said, your group comes across an unmanned candy bowl on the porch with a sign that says "Take one." So, and of course, no one regards those signs, even though if they really should. I mean,
Mhm.
why do you think no one follows the rules just by taking one? They have to take more than just one.
Yeah. It's mandatory. It's like a part of it.
So, so it's just, I'm okay. I'm greedy like that. I'm gonna take more than one candy bar. If it's king size bar, I'm taking like 5 or 6. I don't give a shit. Little kids can wait. They don't need that much sugar anyway. So
No, exactly.
I'm saving up from diabetes. God damn it. So it's okay. So what else could you tell us about the segment you're in? Like what went into preparation? Well, you already explained the special effects. What was the dynamic like on set with all the characters? Did you get a chance to rehearse with them? Did you get to know any of the actors on personal level?
Yeah, so our cast was really awesome. I actually know the actor Riley Nottingham, who played my fiance in it. He and I actually had worked together before on he was he did a 1 day role on a feature film I had done the year prior. And so when we were in the chemistry read, like the callback auditions for Fun Size, he was there and I was like, Riley! And so I think it made it so much more fun knowing that like a friend was there and someone I trust and admire so much as an actor. And so when we were doing it together, I remember like once we were finished, I was like, please, Helen, get it. Please let us get it like together. And so when I found out he booked it, I was so unbelievably excited. And then Jenna, who plays my best friend in the segment, she and I actually had done a chemistry read for one of the other segments, Coochie Coochie Coo. So we had met. I know. Yeah, you'll have to watch that one. That one's also just absolutely insane. So we had also met each other. So it was really cool. And then our fourth actor, Jake, none of us, I had met him actually, we figured it out because we kept like looking at each other on the first day of filming and being like, I know you. How do we know each other? So it took us a good day to finally figure out which project we had worked on together because it was like a very brief passing moment. So, in essence, almost all of us had worked together in some capacity, which was really cool and made it so much more fun. And then we all got to meet each other during the fitting, which was really wonderful. We didn't get any rehearsals for this one, but we at least got to like meet each other prior, build a little chemistry. And then the nice part was is we filmed all the first scenes very last. So I feel like we had all, and like that's when you really get the feeling of the friendship. So that was really nice that that was so much later in the shoot because I feel like we had already built up such a relationship that it just made it so much more fun. And then also, filming all the chaos first, we had already trauma bonded from all the running around and like blood everywhere and also being like it was really hot because we were filming this like right at the beginning of summer in a warehouse with no air conditioning or ones that like were actively on while shooting and you're running like sprinting so it was so hot that we all got real close real fast.
Dude, and I'm glad you said something about Riley Nottingham being your on-screen fiance because he would not tell me what role he played. So
That is so funny. I know Riley's so sweet. He's so like follow the book. And I'm like, you're good. You can say stuff. We got it. We're fine now. It's past the 29th. So
yeah, yeah, he and I we've been corresponding back and forth on Instagram. Such a cool guy to talk to. He listens
wonderful.
to me, he'll listen to me like little voice messages. I did not know he's from Australia. So and it's he I was like, I listened to his voice. I was like, wait a minute, listen to because being former army, when I deployed to Afghanistan, I was exposed to a lot of different armies, like the Australian army, the New Zealand army,
Oh
Japan,
wow.
China, whatever, bunch of different countries, Poland, Russia, Sweden, whatever. And I understood the dialect. I was like, wait a minute, this guy's from Australia,
Yeah.
and I just right away I knew. And I was like, Riley, are you from Australia? He's like, how'd you know, mate? I was like, because I understand the dialect, dude. Trust me, I've heard it all.
Yeah, that's actually so funny too because he auditioned in English. I met him on set and when we met on set, he was fully speaking like with an American accent, obviously English, but with the American accent because he does it so well. And I don't even remember when I finally figured out he was Australian. I think it was like our third or fourth day on set and we were talking because he would keep it the whole time. And he said, "Can you hand me a water?" And I was like, "What was that? What did you just say?" And he was like, "Oh, like you didn't know I'm from Australia." And I was like, "Oh my God," because his accent, his American accent is so brilliant. So that was a really funny moment. And he was like, "Don't tell anyone. Shh, it's a secret."
Yeah,
Obviously not now.
yeah, but I cannot wait to speak to him this Saturday. I'm looking forward to speaking to him and actually I'll get more context on the film because I'm going to watch it, David. I may call out sick. I'm sorry, boss, if you're listening. I may call out sick to go see this movie, just
Gotta
because.
see it.
Only the first time. Anyway, so were there any personal or physical challenges while filming this in this movie? What you could say? I mean,
Yeah, oh
anything
yeah, I can
interesting happen?
definitely. So funny thing with so Riley and I's characters are wearing GoPros because the part of the premise is that we dressed up as camera people from found footage horror movies. Like that is our costume. So we have all these cameras on us to justify why we have the found footage in the film. So he has a GoPro on, I have a GoPro on, and then I'm also holding like a camera. Well, when they wanted better footage for certain scenes or just like clearer footage, obviously these GoPros aren't the highest of quality. So they would put this giant helmet camera rig on us. And it was like it wasn't that big, but it felt huge to the point where they would make us wear a neck brace with it to make sure our necks were protected. And it was pretty heavy. It had to have been like 20 pounds. And then when you add on top of your head and like you're running and doing all these crazy things with it on, I remember specifically one day there's like the point when we had just been sucked into the candy bowl and I'm like waking up. Well, they really wanted the big giant ha- um, helmet rig on that one. So my amazing co-star Jenna literally had to physically help me down, and then I had to counterbalance with my feet when I was laying down, or else I would just like a bobblehead kerplunk because my head was so heavy. So it was I can't even imagine what our video village looking like, what the monitor looked like, because you just literally saw Jenna holding my arms and then my feet coming up in frame for me to lay down. And I think we had probably gotten to like the fifth or sixth take on that one. And I was like, I went up to our camera team and I was like, I love you guys so much. I have one more. My neck can handle one more, and that's it. Just because it got to the point where it was so heavy. But that was like definitely something that was challenging. And then I would say we also I had a much easier shoot than my co-star Jake. We joke, bless his heart, that man had every challenge known to man on our set. Like there was one day he was covered in blood, another day he was covered in maple syrup, like for days. You'll have to see it to know what I'm talking
Wow.
about. But anytime I started complaining about anything, I would like turn over to him and see him sticky and dried maple syrup, and I was like, I'm gonna shut up.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. You guys wore GoPros so you can be filmed in a movie about found footage.
Hmm.
And since you guys are being the found footage, okay, folks, define irony, please, because I want to know what's going on with this one.
No, when we said the line, it was so funny. It actually, when we were in the theater, it got a big laugh, which was like a really good feeling where we were like, where are the people in found horror film movies, like found footage horror film movies?
That
So
is
it's a,
awesome.
yeah, a nice little nugget in there. Casper Kelly, our director and writer, is just a genius when it comes to comedy.
So whoever came up with that deserves an award. Just saying, because that is awesome. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. So, personal question. Don't have to answer if you don't want to. Um, why do you think it took so damn long to make a Halloween version? Obviously, this version is making headway and lots of traction.
You know
Why do
what's
you think
funny
it
is
took so
that's
long?
actually I was talking to Josh, our executive producer about it. Not to take like put words into his mouth, but something he was kind of just like Halloween's really scary because there's so many amazing Halloween films, and the genre of horror obviously is kind of synonymous with Halloween. So I think he was just very much like, "Ooh, that's like a very big feat to take on." So I think it was just a big culmination of the fact that like there's already so many Halloween movies. Did they just want to be another Halloween horror movie kind of a deal? But then I think when he said he was like, this time it was just right. Like they had all the right scripts. It felt like it was all just really falling into place. And something he actually said in the Beyond Fest, like his little speech, is they originally wanted to do maybe a Christmas themed one. And then they had gone so sick of the idea of Christmas, they're like, we're doing Halloween. So I think that's how it all unfolded. But I'm so glad that it happened now because I probably wouldn't have been in it if it had not happened this year, you know?
Well, I would have to agree because there are way too damn horror movies that are centered around Christmas. I'm sorry, it's just there's not enough movies about Halloween, and of course, it's like
Yeah,
almost everyone's like it's like the general consensus of everyone's almost favorite holiday of the year. But I don't think Halloween's actually considered a holiday. So, but it's still like a major day of the year. To me, it's a
right.
holiday because
To
I
me,
like
it's a
trick
holiday
or treating
too.
because I dress up and go scare the shit out of kids. But
As you should. Excuse my language, but a lot of the letterbox reviews were like, fuck them kids. Because you'll see there's a lot of kids getting unfortunately scared the shit out of them, as you said, or unalived in a lot of these. Like there's, it was quite funny. The killing of kids was not done lightly in our VHS Halloween horror film, but it was done very well.
well, if they're bratty kids, they probably deserve it. Sorry, kids. I
Right?
mean, it's
You
just
know, you gotta be smart about it. Don't take multiple candies. That's what we've learned for sure.
let's see. I'm an adult. I'm allowed to take more than just one. God damn it. So, so what's next for you? Anything coming up you want to talk about real quick?
Yeah, I'm actually really fortunate. I have two other feature films coming out either the end of this year or the beginning of next year, hopefully. And they're they're at the opposite ends of the spectrum. So we have one that I think VHS fans will love. It's called Herman. It's like a dark psychological horror fantasy, is how the director and I have decided to describe it. And I'm really excited for that one. It just got like its first like insider look of the film and things released. So I'm quite excited for that. Should be coming out, like I said, at the end of this year, the beginning of next. Or if you want something light, sweet, and a total opposite, I have a movie called Love's Perfect Song coming out, and it's like a romantic comedy, very sweet. So if maybe someone needs a like nice refresher after all of the horror films, they can go ahead and go watch that one.
So, jumping from horror to rom com. I mean, That's quite a bit of a jump there. I'm just it's just
It's a huge jump, and it's funny because I actually filmed it between the two horror movies. I went from Herman to Love's Perfect Song, then to VHS Halloween. So it was kind of like I had to like shake my mindset up of like, oh, we're not being sweet, cute, sickly, horror, drama, scary, kind of a thing.
so two more questions for you. What is your favorite Halloween movie, and what is your favorite found footage movie?
Okay, so for found footage, it'd probably be Blair of the Witch Project. I mean, that one's just so iconic and so classic, and it was, I feel like it really paved the way for found footage. Um, and I'll just never forget that one scene where she's crying and you can see the snot coming out of her nose, and it just felt so real. It's so good. And then Halloween, oh gosh, that's really hard. I think I'm gonna have to go classic and say Halloween. So good. I mean,
Well, obviously, I mean,
I know, big fan. So I have to stick with the classics. I selfishly now would probably say VHS Halloween, and I think people are starting to agree. I just think it's going to hopefully become a staple for a lot of people around Halloween now, which is really exciting.
there is no shame in being selfish in your own movie because you did what you had
Exactly.
to do, and I'm sure you did phenomenal, and I'm sure you delivered your role perfectly to it flawlessly, and I cannot wait to see it. So, with that being said, um, VHS Halloween hits theaters this Friday. Please go check it out and support your favorite
Mhm.
characters and your favorite actresses like Lee Lawson here. And
Yeah.
just because, why not? And with that, and that's all I had to say, man. I guess I've got questions, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck in the future in your career. And I will definitely see you on the big screen this Friday.
Woohoo! Thank you so much. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the beautiful, the talented, the wonderful Lawson Greyson. Go find her on Instagram, support her ass. Please do, because I did. And just because, just fucking do it. Okay. Anyway, and everyone take care, and you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much.